was already writing a book, Transcending Church, following Christ out of the system and into the sacred, when Keith mentioned that he was going to compile Quantum Theology. And so I had a chapter that would, I felt like worked perfectly. So I submitted it, and so it's included. That is my chapter. And so my chapter engages an early Gnostic text known as the Sophia of Jesus Christ. And it basically, it reimagines what we've historically understood as the fall. Rather than framing it as a moral failure, it presents it as a shift in consciousness. It's a movement into form, into embodiment, which ultimately brings about death, because death is our ultimate dilemma. And one of the most striking elements in the text is its use of light imagery. God isn't depicted as a distant ruler, but as infinite light reflecting upon itself. So creation, in this sense, isn't the result of separation, but an outflow of light expressing itself as more light. So in other words, creation is emanation. So that was striking to me. And this also resonates with the Genesis declaration, let there be light. And also with quantum physics, where the universe is understood to arise from radiant energy. And when you start placing this text in conversation with people like David Bohm, Max Planck, the parallels become really compelling, because they're pointing toward a view of reality in which matter isn't the most fundamental layer, but it emerges from a deeper unified field. And it's what Bohm described as the undivided wholeness, the implicate order. And he even uses holographic imagery to describe reality. He said reality is a holographic display within consciousness. And in a hologram, each part contains the pattern of the whole. So when we think about creation through the lens of emanation rather than separation, being made in the image of God begins to take on a different meaning. It suggests that each of us carries the imprint of the whole, that we are, in a sense, expressions or reflections of that original source. So the chapter is really exploring the convergence of ancient cosmology and quantum theory, and it reframes the origin story from something that has gone wrong to an unfolding of consciousness. It's no longer about failure or falling short, but about amnesia, really, just a forgetting of who we really are. And in this light, Jesus doesn't come to save us from punishment, but to awaken us to the light that has always been at the core of our being.